Welcome back, YouTube. J-Bob, the video game slob, coming back at you with some collection pickups, some crap I found in the basement, and some updates from limited print companies. Just letting you know what's going on kind of out there in the landscape and in my life, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's kind of fun, seeing comments and things like that when you have a YouTube channel and, people accusing you of, increasing game prices and that kind of stuff. Yeah, naturally. That's economics for you. That's supply and demand. As people like myself and other collectors go back and buy old games, they're going into our collections and they're not coming out. They go into the Kryptonite collection, Carbonite collection, sorry, and they don't come back out. And so that's less on the market for everybody else, and that increases prices. And of course, I buy games from people for inventory, and so when they come into my inventory, I don't sell all of them immediately. That's just not the way it works. So that pulls some out. And so unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Video games, I still think, are crazy cheap. Yeah, and you look at some of these things here. I mean, Psychonauts, I got this for under $40. I can't remember the exact price. This was 50 or 60 bucks back in, let's see, 2005. And this is 20 years old now. One of the better games ever made. They've, made sequels to it now on the Xbox One, which I still need to pick up and play. So that's now on my watch list. But I didn't have this. I hadn't picked it up, and so yeah, you can pick it up $20 cheaper in the future. And for $40, you could maybe the wife and I could go out and see a movie, and then you watch a Marvel movie, and that's it. That's all you've done, and you've wasted your $40. And instead, you get something really cool out of it. So that's my take on that whole situation. And piracy and stealing the stuff is very easy. You want to look at a Van Gogh, you can go online and look at a picture of a Van Gogh. You want to own a Van Gogh, that's sort of a different story, right? So I've owned Steel Battalion for years and years and years. I bought it back when it was like $100 and some, and I have the whole complete big box and all the cool controls if you've never seen it. But never picked this up. Of course, I have the crappy Connect version of Steel Battalion. I think everybody does, because that's like $1. And so, I don't know, a guy that I met through the industry a while back put out a list, it was like 2 years ago, for a grading company. I know companies grade games, it's evil, blah, blah, blah. And so it was like the top games you really want to own on every console. And so this was on there, and I tried to buy it again for like $40 or $50 or whatever it was going for at the time. And now it's cheaper, so I got it for the $30 range, something like that. So I finally have the full Steel Battalion series. I doubt they're making any more games for that. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. I'm way too lazy to link that in the thing. But you can go out there. There's people who have different guides. Go find the most collectible games on every system. Usually picking up those games is going to give you a very good collection, that will tend to drift upwards in the future. It is 2025. The economy is doing well. And will only continue to do well as interest rates continue to drift downward, and GDP continues upward. That's just the way that works. So what you're seeing here, I believe, is incredibly rare. It took an insane amount of time, well over 2 years, to get this in the mail. And I only got it because I was, on the community boards, with people searching for tips on this. I love first press games. If you can't tell just how gorgeous, the spine arts, these covers are, they do amazing work. And if you follow their story, from what they say, they've had, issues. They're just beautiful gold foiling with quality and getting these things manufactured and this kind of thing. But I have a number of the games from the company, and they've always delivered, very well and on time. Chained Echoes is a, hand-drawn JRPG, and I believe, to their credit, did send us out the Steam code so that we could play this quite a while back. But said they were shipping this game, and then just for the most part never have. They're a company out of Germany, and people in Germany I started saying, oh, hey, I got this copy, or mine came in, this and that. And I just never got a shipping code, and I saw people say, hey, I emailed them and complained, and they shipped mine out. And so this took something like 3 weeks, maybe even more, between when they said they shipped it till it got here, it took an extremely long period of time. For a while, when this was shipped, copies were selling above $200. I recently saw a copy just sold for 100, but the cheapest right now out in the market's like 155, 160, something like that. So these may be crazy hard. I was planning on maybe not keeping a second one, but we'll see where prices go. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting stories like this in the future with these limited print houses that took people's money, either didn't ship, partially shipped. There's going to be a lot of weird games out there that go under a lot of folks' radars. And so I hope they recover, because First Press makes some great stuff. But people in the past that do limited print stuff, these deluxe editions are usually out of 500, I believe. I don't think they're individually numbered. Sometimes they are from Red Art, but I'm pretty sure all the deluxe are limited to 500. Last Night of Winter, and so this is kind of, I'm pretty sure, you've probably already seen this on the channel. I don't always get all the videos I film up on YouTube. But the unlimited print of this went on sale on their, Black Friday sale or through one of VGP's sales. But who knows, maybe that was a PS4 copy. I haven't checked this one into the collection yet. But this, I was looking through my unfulfilled orders, and you have to do that, if you're somebody who collects these things. And it said, hey, we're shipping this game. It's out for production, and mine was still in pre-order status. And so I wrote them and said, hey, I ordered 4 because I ordered for me and my friend. We haven't gotten this yet. What's going on? And they, hey, my mistake. And they're, again, Red Art's usually on top of it. I do, $1,000, $2,000, well, probably more like $2,000 to $3,000 worth of purchases from them a year. So they were really cool, and I've been with them from the start. And so I guess as a thank you, or maybe because they felt guilty, Red Art hooked me up with a bunch of this stuff. I'm assuming these probably were supposed to come with it, the keychains, and then usually you get a couple lanyards, but then they started throwing in some, additional items like that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, there you go. Sword of Vagrant. Maybe they don't, because I don't remember getting that, and I know I have Sword of Vagrant. Was that one? Oh, Nuclear Blaze, great game. So, anyway, they threw in a bunch of, touchy-feelies and stuff like that. So, good on them, making things right. So, I don't know, 2 good bits of luck. I've just had to cancel all my orders with strictly limited games. I had sent an email in October. They said 2 of my pre-orders, which were, again, 2 years old, still hadn't shipped. And they said it'll be shipping by the end of the year, so I wrote back in early January. It's still January. And a couple days later, they wrote back and said, they're still not, coming out, and didn't give me a specific date or even down to a month. And so I just wrote them back and said, cancel everything. And they sent me an email back this morning that said they're canceling all my orders, and I should be getting my refund soon. So hopefully that's the case. I think, unfortunately, Strictly Limited has just a terrible track record for not delivering what they've promised in the past. So if you think you've ordered from them, I would say cancel your orders, get that money back before they go under. And if they make new stuff, just wait till it's out on the marketplace and buy it then, because so many people have rejected it. You could probably just go pick it up at a market rate, and maybe you have to pay $5 or $10 more, but you didn't have to tie your money up for 2 years. So that's pretty ridiculous. These box protectors I get from XYAB. So my buddy put in an order, so I grabbed 10 more, and it was somewhat serendipitous. But yeah, I'd gone down to the basement, and I do shelves where things are stacked, I don't know, 2 deep, you can imagine, like that. And so I forgot I had all these games in boxes. So there we go. Just got box protectors for this stuff. So I don't know. You can see games get pretty dinged up, and these were dinged up, long before I had them. And you're probably screaming out there for me to peel that foggy, look off of it. There's like a protective layer on it. But frankly, I don't want to do that, because these aren't for sale at the moment. They're going to stay in my collection, and this plastic is, these things are less than $1 a piece, so it is pretty chintzy, and so, yeah, you'll scratch it up and it'll look really stupid, so might as well just keep this on until I'm going to get rid of them. This is a pretty cool one. I remember grabbing this years ago. The CD inside is still sealed. Sealed! Dumb stuff like this is why I love the N64 and Super Nintendo. They did the boxes that were kind of in keeping with this. If you've ever seen like the Super Nintendo controllers, they have that same vibe. So, funny stuff there. But yeah, just some of the games. In incredibly, I mean, a lot of these stories, a number of these I got for $3. I happened just years and years and years, almost probably 20 years ago. No, well, 18, something like that. Happened across the sale, and they were $3, and I was a poor college student, and I forget how many dollars I had. 40. I think I asked if I could buy everything for 40, and it probably would have came to like 80 or 90. And the guy said no, and so I bought as many as I could, or that he would give me for my $40. This was not one of them. I think this was like $60 from the local game store or something like that. But yeah, games used to be $3. You used to happen into that stuff at flea markets. That just doesn't happen anymore. But there is stuff out there that you should be grabbing. Everybody wants a DS era Pokemon games, that kind of stuff. Super Nintendo RPGs in the box, classics. But there's a lot of these limited print games that are probably $20 and $30 right now that you're not picking up. All the 360 PS3 games that you can go out and get for $5 or less from a pawn store, from a flea market, from a garage sale that everybody's turning their nose up because it's, it only goes for $7 on price charting or this and that. Use your heads out there, plan for the future, start building a collection. J Bob, the video game slob, over and out.